January 25th, 2025. I missed yesterday, but let's get started. The first thing I wanted to talk about today was just like comedy. Um, First of all, I think stand up comics are like absolute geniuses. It's, the way that they're able to think on the fly when doing crowd work and the way that they are able to vary how they deliver certain jokes and add emphasis on punchlines and also use body gestures as well as facial expressions in order to convey their points, I think are genius. So, like, for example, Shane Gillis's mannerisms, where he uses his hand to do a Trump impersonation or impersonate, those with some mental disabilities, or like that famous meme where the comedian is doing a goal celebration in soccer and it looks so incredibly realistic. It's amazing. So, I think stand-up comics are amazing when it comes to doing that. But I think the underappreciated facet of it is, how many times that they have to like rehearse and try these jokes before they fully perfect it. And, lots of times the jokes we see aren't like, it's not like every joke they try comes out perfect. We only see the ones that are reacted upon favorably to. So it's like certain jokes are bad for whatever reason, like they're either too offensive, too edgy, just not particularly funny, etc., for whatever the reason may be, right? But the point is, in order to come up with a good joke, you got to attempt to actually try to be funny. And the act of trying, I think, has become dangerous in modern times. It's like whenever I'm talking to the other, it's like I'll say dumb shit, on the spot because I'm trying to be funny. And sometimes I fully acknowledge it doesn't come out as funny. But if you never try to be funny, like you won't be funny at all. It's like funniness is either hit or miss. You're not going to hit 100% of the time. And on top of that, it's a subjective thing. Certain things some person might find funny, like my male friends would find funny, but female girlfriend would not find it funny. And I guess it just bothers me when people try to like, not bothers, but it's like, okay, if you want funny people, it's not like a miracle, It's like they're going to be unfunny sometimes. Deal with it. And so in that sense, I think I have a really, really great respect for comedians. It's like they go up, they put their jokes out there, and if they bomb, they bomb. They're probably afraid of bombing, but at the end of the day, as a public performer and jester, you have to be able to live with that fear. So in that sense, I'm really like awed by their ability to go up, try something new, just go for it, and if not, go back to the drawing board. Pretty cool stuff. The second thing I want to talk about is like short attention spans. Even now, I'm a good listener. If someone's talking to me, I can sit there and listen, whether the topic is interesting or not. But I've noticed my attention span sharply declining over the past couple of years as I've gotten more obsessed with like YouTube shorts. Specifically, it's like crazy. The fact that each short ends in 45 seconds to a minute, and then you immediately have another one at your fingertips. And on top of that, it's like 45 seconds starts to feel long. So there's like a few shorts that I've gotten into where it's like 15 seconds in and it's like, why the fuck haven't we gotten to the point already? And I just swipe past it. And I've noticed that, that translated over into my human conversations. It's like lots of people have preamble, they slowly build up, and finally they get to the point. But if people weren't immediately getting to the point like I was used to, it's like I just started to zone out. And so one of the things I've noticed post, Christmas is that as I've started watching shorts less, it's like even in this 3-4 weeks, and maybe it's a placebo effect, I've noticed my attention span coming back to where it was. Like I'm able to read books, I'm able to sit here and do GMAT prep without thinking it's boring. And in general, I'm just able to do lots of longer running tasks without like sufficient issue anymore. And so I really think like the effect of these apps on us, it's like fucking us. But what we're not going to find out until far later. The last thing I want to talk about is Nike. Nike is a cultural symbol. It's a cultural institution. And in my younger days, that swoosh was what I saw in most people's clothes, most kids' clothes. It's like everybody loved that swoosh. They made all sorts of styles. Some kids wore golf shirts. Some kids wore their shorts. Obviously, their shoes were super popular, whether it be the Nike Shox, the Air Jordans, Air Forces now. They're a cultural institution. But whether you look at the stock price or you look around you on the road, Nike doesn't have the same ubiquitous dominance that it once did. It's like the stock has fallen off from a high of 182 to 70 now. And on top of that, in terms of people's apparel, you see lots of Lululemon for athleisure, you see Athleta. For running, you see Hoka, you see On Running, you see Brooks. You don't see that many Nikes. And even for athletes, it's like Adidas has lots of the big names. And in terms of like other athletes, you know, Nike has an iron grip on basketball, but it's like, do people really care about basketball anymore? Like, I would never buy Wemby shoes for the sake of buying Wemby shoes. The last shoes I wanted to buy were Harden shoes, and that's because I thought Harden shoes were the best basketball shoes in the business. So it's Nike's just not that big of a product anymore, even if it sponsors all of the college football teams, even if it sponsors the Olympics. And to some extent, I think the fall off is sad. It's like, yeah, they use sweatshop labor, etc. They're a shit company, but I think their branding is still cool. I think their golf apparel is still cool, for example. I think some of their shoes are still cool. And they can make outfits look swaggy. But on top of that, it was just like this great American brand. And it's always interesting to see the fall off in cultural relevance, I guess. So yeah, Nike. Yeah, that's it.